Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members, and thank you for the opportunity to testify. And I hate to be here to testify against something that deals with something that I hold so dear, but my issue is that this is a very, very blatantly sectarian translation of something that's essential to my religion. In Judaism, there are no 10 commandments, there are 613 commandments. And what is referred to in this legislation as the 10 commandments are called Aseret HaDibrot, which means the 10 statements. And the best example I can give you of the difference there is that the very first one in the groupings of those 10 statements is Ani Adonai, Anochi Adonai Elohecha Asher Hotzeitecha Me'eretz Mitzrayim Mibeit Avadim, which is I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. That is not a commandment in the view of any of the Christian denominations, and so it doesn't show up in their listing of the 10 commandments. It does show up at the top of this chart, however. The second chart that I gave you at the top of this listing of the wording from the bill, this table here shows you the difference between the Jewish, the Protestant, and the Catholic versions of what the 10 commandments are. If you take a look at this listing that's within the bill, you'll notice that there are 12 different items, 11 of which are identifiable as commandments, the first of which is not unless you happen to be Jewish, and that's the part that says, I am the Lord thy God. So one of my issues with this is that if a smart child, and we have millions of those in Texas, takes a look at the wording that is going to be required to be posted in their classroom and says, so what are the 10 commandments? I count either 11 here or 12 here. You're going to be leaving it to a teacher who may or may not have the background to explain what the differences are and why some people view the different ones as different commandments. That's not age appropriate. We've focused an awful lot on age appropriateness, and you're going to be putting in kindergarten classrooms, first grade classrooms, et cetera, things where somebody is not equipped to be able to explain it. There are also some mistranslations, and I know I'm running out of time, so if anyone would like to ask me a question to give you an example of a few of the sectarian mistranslations, I would greatly appreciate it.
All right. Provide us with an example.
The best one that I can give you is the one that is common to all of them, but in different numbers within them, and that's, in Hebrew, it's lo tirtzach, okay? It's translated in this document here as thou shalt not kill, okay? Tirtzach in Hebrew does not mean kill, it means murder, and there's a very, very essential difference between the words kill and murder that I think Representative Tallarico raised an issue with respect to his questioning earlier today of the sponsor of the legislation. In the Torah, in the Bible, there are a number of instances where you are in fact required to kill. For example, you are required to kill in times of war. You are required to kill when it is necessary to save the life of another. And so when you say, thou shalt not kill, what you have is a sectarian interpretation that goes back to a number of the Christian translations of it that is totally unrelated to what the actual commandment is or the statement is within Judaism. It should say, thou shalt not murder. If you do that, you would have a more accurate rendering of it. That's not a sectarian document. There are other examples, too. It talks about in the lo lechamod, which is the thou shalt not covet. It talks about not coveting the cattle. There is no mention of cattle within the Aseret HaDibrot. Cattle is bakar. What it says in there specifically is that you shall not covet shor, which is the ox, or chamor, which is usually translated in the King James Version as ass or donkey. And last I knew, and I'm not an expert on animals, but maybe somebody on this committee is, last I knew, a donkey is not considered cattle. Yeah. So if you post this, you will be posting one particular sectarian view of what is an essential part of the Jewish religion in a manner that is not the way the Jewish religion sees it, and that is an establishment violation under the Constitution of the United States. Be glad to answer any other questions.
Members, any more questions? All right, we appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you.